If there's one thing that I'm absolutely, positively, completely, 100% sure about, is that you gotta fall in love with your own energy. To be successful in any endeavor, on a spiritual journey, worldly pursuits, whatever you do, you gotta fall in love with your own energy. Because by so doing, you fall in love with everybody. You never view things separately. You include all of life as a part of you in whatever you do. But it all starts with you. It all starts here now. It seems that a lot of guys aren't in tune with their feeling side. You gotta learn to feel and embody your very God-given energy. And then you realize, actually, that's the energy of all of us, all of humanity. And so, again, you fall in love with everybody. As a reflection, as actually an extension of your very own self. Self with a capital S. And so, whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation, it's joyful and blissful. You can walk through so-called hell with joy. That's success. Because you see, actually, there is no stress. No situation is inherently stressful. Only if one individually, compulsively reacts to something. That's what causes stress. It's an inner attitude, not the circumstance. See, we want to take our power back, embody, and thus be empowered by our very God-given energy, which is always with us and is ever increasing in abundance, abundantly. And thus we never view things in terms of scarcity. This world is one of abundance. There is no lack or limitation. And you realize this as a man when you commit to senior attention. Notice how I didn't say if, I said when. Now, I don't claim there's one way, although Jesus said, followers of the way. I believe what he meant to say is what I said at the beginning of this video. Falling in love with your very own God-given energy. Realizing that right now is eternity. And all that we have access to spiritually is right now within us intrinsically. The kingdom of heaven is within. And there's so many different ways to discover this. Various, multitudinous are the paths to God. So I don't claim to know or have the one and only way. But when Jesus said, followers of the way, again, I believe what he meant to say is falling in love with your very own energy. And thus realizing, in turn, that actually, it's the same energy of all of us. And so whatever you do, there's absolute non-resistance and contentment in every circumstance. You're free of doubt. You're fearless. There's no worry or anxiety. And you have so much confidence. Where do you get this authority? How can you say whatever is in your heart, whatever is in your mind? There is no separation between them because there's brain-heart coherence. As man thinketh in his heart, so he is. And so we want to get in tune with this, with our feeling side, our feminine. Because without this masculine and feminine being in balance, without the polarities of existence operating at full force within us, how can there be balance and bliss and abundance and peace and equanimity and harmony within the human entity. How can we evolve spiritually unless we are in harmony with existence itself, with God, with life, the life energy throbbing within us? Seeing this as all of us, and thus there is no separateness and no stress, because there's always a profound sense of connectedness, and with this connection, bliss, because we know God's got us. Whatever we do, simply the intent of yearning, wanting, seeking to progress spiritually. You're already progressing. Simply with the intent of wanting to serve all of humanity, not live selfishly. It's a very powerful act of the human will. And it connects us to divine will, God's will. And simply the faith and conviction that, yes, God has a plan. And therefore, whatever seeming mistakes we've made, whatever dirty laundry we have, whatever is in the past, whatever trauma, whatever we've been through, right now, in this moment, we can transcend it. And believe me, I've spoken all about my personality, my past dirty laundry, and personal history, and how that has fundamentally nothing to do with right now, my true identity, our identity, which is one with, aligned with divinity, which of course, at the same time, includes all that we've been through in this body, but at the same time is beyond it and transcendent to it. And this is a seeming paradox that, hey, God is simultaneously within this body, but at the same time beyond it. The body isn't the identity. God's got me because God has body, and therefore we want to treat this temple as holy, this holy physical temple, this beautiful, wonderful physical vessel, this spiritual vehicle, which is ever more empowered by the Lord. And I say this one, but I mean you too. Whoever's watching, whatever you do, know that God's got you. God's got me too, got all of us, especially those following this, watching this, listening to this. Hope you perceive and feel the essence. That's really why I make this. That's the reason, the intent, which of course is in balance with the feeling. It comes from the heart. And some things need not be said. It's very obvious. But sometimes also it's good to have reminders. So simply wanting to share. Not planning, not knowing what is being said right now. Simply showing up, allowing it to flow out. So I hope you dig it. I hope you resonate with it. I hope you feel it. Maybe you don't resonate with the concepts being spoken, but if you feel the essence, see that actually it's simply sound. It arises from a certain state, level of consciousness, of lovingness and sharingness, and at the same time willingness, the will to show up. Because God's will is done through the hands and feet of men. As Jesus said, ye are gods. And therefore it's not blasphemy to say that we're equal to God. When we're practicing what we're preaching and embodying, living the principles the spiritual divine principles, following the rules in the Bible, which are common throughout all the religions. You don't want to get hung up on a specific one. Identify with this one and say, hey, that one isn't true. You want to see the common thread, the common theme between them. Because the truth is in unity. Therefore, we don't want to see religions as existing separately, but see the commonality. Actually, what are they all saying with different stories and parables and allegories? Because the truth is the same throughout all of history. The ultimate truth, the supreme, is the same throughout all mankind for all time. And that truth is right now. So sublime. The divine simply yearns to, wishes to express its essence. And thus I make this. Not identifying as Alex, as a personality, but somehow divinity's got to express. So, here I go. Here it goes. Here it flows. Sometimes the best thing we can do is slow down. And thus rise in energy and frequency. And thus awareness, because our energy corresponds to our level of awareness and frequency proportionally, directly. And all of our goal should be, ought to be, to align with divinity, to experience, to identify with God directly through what we do, our activity, realizing that the Lord's always with us inherently. Therefore, again, there's never any worry or fear or anxiety. It seems so silly how formerly I used to be very self-conscious, caught up with myself. And now with non-resistance, life is, for the most part, effortless. But at the same time, there's so much joy and effort in showing up, putting in the work and discipline. I said at the beginning, you gotta fall in love with your own energy. And whatever your path may be, you gotta fall in love with discipline. That's the point. Because no matter how much you're in tune with your feminine, your feeling, to contain and embody the God-given energy, there's gotta be stability and structure and discipline. You gotta fall in love with that. Because at the end of the day, that's all you got. All you got's your own energy, your own subjectivity. So you gotta fall in love with the essence of life itself within your being. And when you're well established in being, then whatever you're doing is done automatically, harmoniously, as an extension, an expression of divinity. You're never caught up in a personality. Even in the most serious social settings, everything is flowing gracefully. That's all, folks.